All right. So I just want to thank everybody for coming on the call this morning, and just some of the announcements for next week. Of course, Monday morning is morning coffee with me. Yuri has his presentation on Wednesday mornings at 9:30. Yuri, what's the topic next week? By the way, I love the conversation that we had this week.
Yeah, maybe I want to do just a simple up today. Middle of the month anyway, but I'll do a simple update for maybe Hamilton, maybe other cities as well. So I'll see.
Okay.
And if you enjoyed it, I can throw the live example every time, every time I do it.
Yeah, I really love that. By the way, Teresa sent me I sent Teresa a link to a house in Haldimand, wherever that is, and for $299 you could get a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house on a nice lot. Of course that's Haldimand, right? So I thought,
but can you though? Because it's going to say the offer presentation is on 23rd of October, and that price is going to go from $299 to $450.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, they might actually, now that you say that, it might be just to set it up for a bidding war. So, it might not sell for that, but I thought it was pretty exciting. You're probably getting multiple offers as we speak. So, but yeah, so check out Yuri next week. Of course, and Kathryn is on next week. I'm not sure. I believe it's, is it you? Oh, excellent. Wonderful. And Lindsay, what is it that you're going to be chatting about?
I went a little bit overboard. So it's the top 10 Christmas gifts in tech that are going to be really popular this year. Plus, I might throw in a couple extras and some stocking stuffers of tech.
Neat. Oh,
yes, I know it's not even Halloween yet, but trust me when I say you're going to want to know these deals before November hits. So,
well, that's awesome. Okay,
sorry for interrupting. I'm so sorry. Uri, may I ask you something? Can you present for Airbnb in one of your presentations regarding Airbnb?
Airbnb?
Yes. Sure. If it doesn't, because I don't understand this topic, and it was so interesting to know everybody talks about that right now. Okay. If you don't mind, if you have a time, one day.
You're on.
I can do that.
Maybe just general, just explain how it's working, all of this stuff. It's just so fascinating.
There's nothing fascinating. It's a middle guy that just take 20%. That's all.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much.
I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay. I can discuss.
Oh, thank you. Whenever you have a time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. So I wanted to ask a question. Like, that there's a lot of tech coming out right now, right? There's a lot of electric vehicles coming out. We're looking at the future of transportation. It's really evolving, and it's evolving pretty quick. What are your thoughts on it? Like, are you I still think that someone who buys an electric car today, they're early adopters. Are you an early adopter? If the prices were reasonable, would you buy one?
I'll go 100%. I feel like we're kind of transitioning past the early adopter stage to when it's that transitional phase that it goes mainstream. I think that our government is planning to make gas cars not like you can't purchase them at a certain date. I'm going to look that date up. But what I basically heard is that electric vehicles are going to be mainstream along with driverless. So like instead of Ubers with drivers, you're going to have, Teslas or whatever with AI drivers, and you're just going to hail them. And that's going to be the mainstream mode of transportation for a majority of people. There's still going to be the more like, if you can afford it. Like if I looked at how much actually my cars cost over 10 years, and it's $175,000.
Wow.
So that's not feasible in the future. Like I think so I'm actually making an entire list of things that I think the future is going to be like. And even yesterday, Yuri was saying affordable, like small affordable housing is going to be kind of like what you're going to start to see. I believe that's true. And so that's what I think is going to happen. So I think it's going to happen within 5 years that the majority of people will be shifting to electric vehicles.
Well, that's interesting. And actually, now that you say that, I mean, think about all of the industries right now that survive off of internal combustion engine modes of transportation, right? And as those things fade out, right, the folks that make transmission fluid, or whatever it is, the oil changes are done, like Jiffy Lube, no more. You know what I mean? Like there's a transition away from those things, and of course, new industries are going to be made available. Yuri, when they're building new homes, new communities, now they're going to think, okay, should we build communities with charging stations, in the community, so you don't have to actually leave the community and go to the gas station, so that the property management now makes the money off of the charge. There's so many opportunities that are going to present themselves. What are your thoughts on that, Yuri?
Well, it's out there already. Like I said, there was a release of MPE tower in Brampton a couple of days ago. And one of the features is either you want to get the rough in for about $2,500 for the Tesla for electric car, or I think $7,500 for a station basically ready to go. Wow. And I think that's that's an upgrade you want to get right away. Right away. It doesn't matter whether you have the electric vehicle or not. It's a good selling feature. So is it coming?
Oh, what an interesting thought. That's really cool.
Yeah, is it coming? Absolutely. But the other thing is, if we're transitioning again, this jump 145 right now, I see the gas station of 148. Is it a kind of a dying industry at this point, or why the prices are up?
Well, so I was actually listening to this on the news this morning. They were talking about this, where the on in 97.3, he was saying that that oil companies they're losing money. Obviously, people weren't driving, so they're jacking up the prices to recover that loss. There's no other, plus the fact, of course, that we have a carbon tax now on top of the taxes that were on top of tax. Everything's being taxed to death, and then they give it back to you in syrup. Isn't that nice? Anyway, but the point is that you have so much expense. The gas prices are projected to go to over $2. They say within the next 4 or 5 months. That's a potential, right? Mm-hmm. So if if you're used to filling up your tank for $80, it's $120, $130 from now on, right? And that's the way it's going to be. They're saying that it might come back down after the supply chain gets back in line, but I don't know.
Well, you have to understand too is that my boyfriend, who has a 1 liter tank, basically, you know what I mean? But whatever the price of gas is whatever he pays to fill that. That makes sense.
To fill it.
So right. I actually had this discussion with him the other day, and I said to him, what are you going to do? Like, that's a lot of money. Of course he can write it off because he's a business owner and everything. But he even said that I know that Dodge and Ford obviously have committed to doing electric trucks at some point. And I think that Chevrolet is slowly behind that. And then obviously we all know Mr. Elon Musk's fancy looking truck that's coming out too. But if the truck industry is setting the bar of making electric, that's why all these other small companies are going to as well. Because I don't know about you, but paying $200 to fill your tank, when the price goes up to $200 a liter, that is crippling, especially for people in trades.
Especially if you fill up your tank once a week, right?
Yeah.
Like we do, right? I mean, I
can't imagine not being a business owner and filling your tank, because at least Phil gets to write off 50% of it. So
how many people here drive more than 250 kilometers a day on average?
How far is that? Sorry.
0 kilometers a day.
Yeah, I do too, but I'm just curious how far that is.
Yeah, 250 kilometers would be Toronto and back, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably twice, because about 60.
That's
60
true.
Kilometers, right? So
twice. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So probably nobody, right? So most of the electric vehicles that you get that you can buy on the market right now, the range that you drive in a day, they can cover it no problem, right? But imagine this. This is the thing that I think is the most interesting, because I don't think there's ever been a time when you can, put a solar array on your garage, install a solar wall, whatever Elon Musk sells, that electric wall thing, and a charging station in your car, in your garage, and never ever pay for the electricity to charge your car or gas ever again.
Phil can actually apply for it's a certification where every house that he produces is going forward into the future. So he can actually be certified and actually be given a cut back if he installs solar panels, those plugs, anything that has to do with the electricity side of it all into a future home, basically. I'm sure Yuri knows what I'm talking about, but it's a certification and they've been testing it in New York City already as it is. But Phil could go get certified in that, and then he would get a cut back from installing those into homes in the future.
Yeah, and a really good point, Lindsay, is that if you had the money, if you were financed, you could actually start an energy company installing solar panels on the people's homes and leasing it to them. Basically, just replacing panels as needed, right? And just they're paying less than they would electricity, but not much, maybe 20%, and you're making money forever, basically, right? So that's
what you wish for.
It's coming, right?
But be careful what you wish for, because the panels that you're installing, some insurance companies are not insuring the homes.
Right.
Then the cost of replacing it, because you're damaging the roof a little bit. Some people are not open to it, but I'm waiting until Musk will come up with his solar panel shingle.
Yeah, I've seen the commercials for those. That's amazing.
Isn't that like what California is trying to do? Because I know California said that they were committing to making all houses have solar panels on them by a certain year. I can't remember.
Yeah, but the solar panel as a piece of equipment, I don't like that. But if it's a
integrated into the shingles,
I'll go for it. Right.
California is a warm place. It's different. They can live on this. Canada don't have that much sun in some places. Like Middle East country can survive without heat at all, because there is so much hot like weather. And also in Germany, I don't remember when they're trying to promote it, but it's actually a law that by maybe within a couple of years, they're not allowed any car that driving with the gas be on the street. They already a law like that.
Yeah, China's committing to almost the exact same thing you just said, Victoria, too. China or Japan, I can't remember.
I think we have too. I think it's 2035 for Canada.
I think Japan is closer than ours because obviously they're the biggest producing cars of electric vehicles, as far as I remember.
China,
thank you. So yeah, they've committed to that every car has to be electric, no hybrid, just electric.
Right. It's amazing. So everything is moving in that direction. Has anybody ever sat in an electric vehicle, whether it's a Nissan Leaf or Tesla?
I did. It's amazing. It's huge. It's completely different, and like you feel like a white person again.
Fancy.
Yes, you feel like
you know what it feels like. I've never been on an airplane, but apparently people compare it to like having one of those fancy little hotels on an airplane where you're all by yourself and there's a door. Like,
okay, Victoria.
I wanted to live there. I will tell you, I wanted to live there.
We can go.
What's the biggest difference for you, Victoria, in an electric car?
It's a comfort. It's a comfort. It's the fact that there is such a fascination of the technology that once you open up the hook, there's nothing inside. It's just like a little bit of engine. There's no even an engine. It's just like a computer. It's just it's so light. It's the design.
Victoria too. It's almost like you're not even in a car because you don't even feel the ground moving underneath you. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Yeah, it feels like you're just cruising.
Yeah,
no noise, no nothing.
All right, Yuri, what do you think?
Yeah, no noise whatsoever. You think it's you didn't start it,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't been involved or like in other vehicles, but Tesla is is nice, but,
Yeah.
but again, comfort is something, it depends what vehicle you drove before. If you compare Cadillac or top Lexus models, they're as comfortable as the other ones. So it depends on, like, I need elbow room, so.
Right. Yeah.
So,
But okay, so the
I'm
other thing,
a-
of course,
Ivan, I'm a little bit pissed because a Tesla Model 3 can actually beat my Audi. I'm legitimately pissed by that. But
yeah, yeah.
James, is
no, they're
your
nice
electric
cars.
too?
No, I'm just mine's a S5. It's supercharged V6. But yeah, a Model 3, like one of my friends had it, and it was just like I was in a rocket. Like it hit 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds apparently.
They're so fast.
Yeah.
It's
You never
just
forget your
instant.
first time when you sit in a Tesla and it goes from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I mean,
Right.
it's exhilarating.
and I think it's the only people that guest invited into the car drive that, and owners never does that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I sat
Right.
in the whatever is like the SUV of a Tesla, and he was my Uber driver. Keep this in mind. And I we were just talking like whole time basically. And when I got to my destination, I was like, that was so fast. Like whatever. I don't know what Teslas do, but they can like match up and down speed too, depending on traffic. So he doesn't even have to like really do anything. But that car was like, it's also cool too, because as soon as you get into your car, into your Uber, it'll be like, hello, Lindsay. And it's like, okay, we're not doing this, robot. But no, it's basically a hotel on wheels, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe thing to say. It is like a hotel on wheels, except, it's a quiet hotel on wheels, right?
I agree with you guys. It's
Right.
it's going to be complete. It's going to be an extension of the house. I think that way. It's like what I saw a couple of models of the future, and what they want is, instead of the garage, it's going to be different type of designs, and it's going to be just come to your place, and it's going to be extension of the house, and we just
All I
continue.
hear Victoria saying is that Elon Musk is going to invent a motor home.
Yeah, something close to what
Yeah,
you are.
totally.
For a house
100%.
any day.
I told the story before, but I'll tell it again. My brother, of course, he has the Tesla, and my son, we'd all gone out for a drive, and we came back to this place, and my son was staying in the back seat. He hadn't gotten out of the car yet, so of course, my brother pulls out his phone and has the car start driving into the garage. All of a sudden, he's in the car. He's looking around like, what? Yeah, and a car drives by itself into the garage. That's pretty.
Did you guys see
cool.
the article about the girl that fell asleep on like one of the major highways in her Tesla? That came out like just a couple days ago.
I think I caught the headline, but didn't read the
Yeah.
article.
Yeah, you literally, they took a picture of her like full on sleeping.
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
driver's
I've
side
seen
of
that
the car.
picture. Yeah. So here's the thing. So there's no such thing as fully autonomous vehicles.
No,
That's a
not
fact, right? So when you fall asleep in a Tesla, you're taking your life into your own hands, because Tesla can only function in ideal situations. So sometimes you're driving, Yuri, and they're doing some construction, so they change the lanes, right? Sometimes, or there's no lane; it's just little dots every now and then. That could cause problems for an autonomous vehicle. So while she's asleep, if something changed up ahead that she wasn't aware of, she might find herself.
Someone in California saw the new Google car, which is self-driving by the way, and someone like freaked out because they were like, there's nobody inside that car. Like they kept on calling the police, and the police were just like, what are you talking about? I guess Google was testing it like near their headquarters or something. And it was like you said,
so how many people have heard the
still
story?
has to be controlled by somebody at head office.
How many people have heard the story of the dead end street that all of these electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles are getting trapped in? Yeah, it was on the news this past week that there's a road in California. You heard it?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and they had a picture of all these cars getting stuck down the street. They go down, then they have to make a 3-point turn, and come out of that street. Something about that street, I don't know. It's where I don't know. How about the article that came out last night about the driver in a 30-mile-an-hour zone was doing 116 and lost control of the car. The car went airborne, right, and went into a woman's window and killed her in her bed. So sometimes what happens is when you get a Tesla, you tend to think that you can fly. And so you do that. You show all your friends because there were 4 people in the car, right?
Unless Steven Spielberg was correct about what 2021 and Back to the Future was supposed to be with flying cars, I'm happy being in an apartment right now.
Right. Yeah. The problem is I'm only on the second floor. So, a car that takes off might actually come through my window. Anyway, but electric cars are pretty exciting. They're very exciting. And the thing about the electric cars that I like the most is that the technology that they have is pretty darn cool. Right. Yep. I mean, when you think about all of the things that people are doing these days with their electric cars, and the cool gadgets that they have, it's pretty neat. So not only things like advanced driver assist systems, right? Like where you can take your hands off the wheel. My brother was saying that, you never realize how many times you really need to take your hand off the wheel. You ever be in the car, Lindsay, and you're not driving, forget it. Have you ever seen Phil in the car and if he drops something and he's trying to fish around for it? He can't, he's driving and he's trying to, right?
No, that's me. Like I'm the bionic arms that goes and finds whatever
that's
it
was. Right? But if you're by yourself, and so while I was in the car with him, he basically had it on autonomous mode. And then he stops and he turns to me and we're talking like this. And he's, I'm like, and the car, there's a light up ahead.
Did you not have a heart attack then?
It was weird. Yeah, it was a little weird. But he said you just get used to it. And then you just say, okay, you know what? I need to reach into the glove box to grab whatever. And he'll just put it on autonomous mode and reach into the glove box. The car's driving, it's quite a shock. There's also automatic emergency braking. Now that's stuff that is in electric and
yes, we were talking about that with Kathryn last night.
Yeah, so you've got these cars are connected with all kinds of mobile apps and digital keys, etc. There's teen driver technology where you can program your car. Check this out. The car comes, it knows who's driving. And you can program it that if your teenager's driving, that it won't go over a certain speed. It locks the speed at, let's say, 110, right? And that no matter how much he floors it or she floors it, everybody drives fast these days. You're only going to do 110.
Isn't that not safe in itself? Because what if everybody's doing $130 on the highway?
You're going to do 110. It's just programmed into it. You've got, exit warnings to protect cyclists. That's a new thing, right?
But it's not only that, Ivan. It's also actually notifying the police station. And you will automatically get a ticket because my friend did it.
Oh.
He got a ticket. He got a notification from the police station if he's going to do it again and from the insurance at the same time, automatically.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I've heard about the fact that with this new technology, insurance companies will be able to see when you're speeding and then say, okay, well, you're typically a speeder, so we're going to charge you more next year, even though you didn't cause an accident, even though you didn't get a ticket, they're just going to charge you more because you're
it always makes me think of the movie Horrible Bosses when he has a Prius and he's basically committing a crime and the car, he's trying to steal the car and the OnStar comes on and the girl's like, no, we got to lock the car. We don't recognize your voice. So they just shut down the car.
So good.
It's a joke, but
some of this technology has been around in internal combustion engine vehicles as well, right? But I'm just letting you know that they seem to be piling them in the electric cars. So imagine that you park your car and you want to jump out of the car, but you can't open the door. You don't know why, and all of a sudden a bicycle goes by because the car recognizes a cyclist, prevents you from opening the door. That's kind of cool, right? Rear view backup mirrors. Mirrors. Have you ever seen the digital mirror? Right, the rear view mirror is no longer a mirror; it's actually a screen. Have you seen those?
What?
Yeah. So they're saying that how many times have you had your car piled up with stuff and you can't see out the back window, or it's
Right.
fogged up or whatever it is? Well, now it's no longer a mirror, it's a screen, and it's always there. No matter what you've got jammed in the back, you can always see out your rear view mirror. That's a cool feature, right?
What about the feature that I was telling you about in Rob's car? How it's like an aerial view instead of a backup now?
Right. Yep. That's another huge thing that they have. Right. You also have these electric vehicles. If it was stolen, if your Tesla is stolen, the app tells you where it is. Right. You know, the app will tell you where it is. No one steals Teslas, I guess, because you always and you can shut it down. You can kill the
I was
engine.
gonna say it's a gridlock one. It's just like Land Rover. They're the ones who I'm pretty sure invented that. Jag. I don't know.
Not sure.
The same thing. Like if they suspect that you're like not doing it right, then they lock down the engine.
Yeah, cool. So all of these things are pretty amazing in electric vehicles. So if you were going to buy one, Yuri, how much would you pay? How much do you think is reasonable for you to pay for an electric vehicle if you were going to get into it?
Well, I'm with Sam. I would figure out what's the final cost, what's the total cost, I guess, over the span of the life of the vehicle, and then just go from there. So that's basically what it is. But now, you know what, the funny thing is, I don't consider vehicle to be an investment vehicle, for lack of a better word. So honestly, I just write it off, and probably never going to buy a brand new vehicle, period. I don't care what people say. I'm not driven by, you're driving Tesla, this cube truck or something like that, whatever you call it. I don't care about that. As long as I can fit 4x8 a sheet in my truck, I'm good.
Right. Okay, cool. So the brand new electric F-150 is not your thing?
No.
For $100,000 or whatever it is. No, I think it's 60 grand.
I'd rather spend 50,000 of that or 70,000 of that towards another investment.
Okay, well, cool. Okay, so I'm going to show you folks a couple of vehicles that I think are noteworthy only because of the price. The fact that the features are like, you're not compromising when it comes to finishes, features, etc. You're getting everything you need, right? So this is the new Hyundai Ioniq. That's the electric vehicle for 2021. You can go into the stores and buy this right now. I think I've actually seen one on the street. This is a really sweet looking vehicle, and it's really highly rated. Everyone who has test driven these things, they thought that they functioned really well. They are these are not Teslas, okay? They go from 0 to 60 in 9.9 seconds. So so even grandma can be safe in this car, right? But look at this dash. Is that not super cool that you've got this huge display? I like the fact that it still has buttons and knobs, that it's not too futuristic for somebody my age, but it seems to have everything you need. Would you be comfortable and satisfied with this type of vehicle, Lindsay?
I'm not a big Hyundai person.
Okay.
I actually was saying the other day is that when I saw Kathryn's car, sorry, bite me, Sam. Sorry. No, but I was saying the other day is that the only thing that I find very weird, and I find is a weird direction that cars are going into, is that they're trying to make you focus on the road, but they give you these giant screens in the middle. So like, I'm sorry, but whenever I think of like the Tesla thing too, like how it's bigger than probably my laptop, I'm just like, what the whole point is so that you drive,
Plus they give you apps like YouTube, right?
Yes. I have a problem with this type of car. So Hyundai is not a good model of the car. Like, I don't want to disrespect anybody, but if you look at the collisions, Hyundai, Kia, all of the cars like that level, they get into the when there is a collision, people can be hurt more often.
Mm.
So when we're talking about the lower level cars, then I'm not too sure if I will look at them in the first place. Maybe with this technology, they will be better performing. I don't know.
That's what they
This
say.
kind
That's what they
of
say. They're
cunning.
trying to see if they can avoid the collisions. So these cars actually do the work, some of the work for you to avoid collisions.
Then what is the difference becoming between the luxury cars and the low level cars? So I
Money.
don't yeah, but there should be something more than money. Like rich person who made the money will never spend the money just because of the luxury. I never
Right.
met a person who made the money, who made a huge amount of money and just spend them because he wanted
Yeah.
the luxury.
Well, I
He
got to
spent
tell
it
you,
for something.
I looked at the Mercedes. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an electric vehicle that is like probably one of the most luxurious vehicles I've ever seen. You know, I mean, if you're looking for traditional luxury in a vehicle, not clean and Spartan Tesla luxury. I'm talking about, you know, cushy luxury. That car was, you know, super sweet, but it was also, you know, over 100 grand, right? So,
But Benz is a different model. Like, look at the Benz. Benz has a functionality that no other car has.
that's right.
Benz also knows how to, for example, protect you from collision. It's made of the lighter equipment.
Mm,
Like when it's getting into collision, just the model, not the model. How do you call it? It becomes like it's squeezing itself. So it's taking the bunch to the car, so the person in the car doesn't feel it.
right.
It's made from the different material. Again, I can't explain it in
Yeah, like
English,
crumple zones
but
and things like
it's
that.
just a
Yes, I know.
different type
Yes.
of the car. So, but when you look at the Kia, when you look at the again low-level cars, so if we're saying the technology will solve all these problems, then it's amazing. Do
Yeah,
you
no,
believe in
well, you
that?
know what? I mean, they can only solve some of the problems. They can't solve it
Yeah.
all, right? So, but here's the thing: for the average person, you know, getting into a you know $100,000 Mercedes probably isn't in the cards, right? It certainly is not in the cards for me. But something if I wanted to get into an electric vehicle as a runaround car, right? Because for long commutes, you know, getting on the highway, traveling out long distances, I'm probably still going to stick with my Volvo, but you know, my internal combustion car because I know where
But
the gas
Volvo is
stations
not a
are.
bad car. It's also considered to be a luxury car.
Right, but I'm just saying it's more of a. I consider it's an older Volvo, so it's definitely much more a pedestrian car, right? So, but if I needed to get into an electric car, so I can do away with some of the expenses of, you know, oil changes and transmission fluids and gas prices going up to $2, then $3 or whatever it is, then yeah, I would definitely consider, you know, an SUV that is that's electric. I would for sure. I think so.
Well,
Anybody else's thoughts? Sam, what do you think?
Well, I actually have the opposite. I think Hyundai is a great company. I've owned two. I have a Santa Fe. And honestly, they've been like the best cars I feel like I've owned. I've never had any problems with them. I've had a Honda Accord. I have, well, my Audi's been great too, but you know, I feel like it's a great company. I think it's the best value. I mean, I shopped around for my Santa Fe, for my SUV a lot, and I tried every model. And for the price for what I got, I feel like, you know, I've had no problem. I've had it for 6 years. I've had no problems with it. You know, just do my oil changes, get winter tires, and it's been golden. So I think this is a pretty good car. I would say that this is probably a good buy. I think I wouldn't personally pay 41K. I would wait till it's maybe about
31K?
22.
Right.
Is that how much it is? Starting. Yeah, that's starting.
That's Canadian. 41.5. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with Yuri. I'm not like a new car buyer. I mean, I did buy my Santa Fe, but that's only because I had a family and I wanted my family to be 100% safe. And I got it for a good deal. But I would probably go into this car maybe around the 20,000 or 17 mark, meaning I
Okay.
might get it about 4 years old.
Right.
It's probably what I would do.
So if
So
we
I,
want, the prices will be compatible to what we have right now, kind
Right.
of thing. Then
yeah,
we're going to be
well,
more comfortable to use a newer technology.
yeah, no, the technology is great. I like all the things. It's just, so I have a sort of a strat for cars that if you buy on the 4th year and sell on the 6th year, you really
Okay.
don't lose a lot. So
Right.
that's probably what is happening to my mind. But I paying 42, that's a little steep for, basically a very economy car.
Yeah. It is absolutely.
I
They're
wanted to
almost
ask you a
charging you.
question. Like, what's going to be to the force of the people who's working on these cars? So now it's all technology based. Like before, it was mechanical. So a lot of people were mechanical people, but now it's more electrical.
Yeah.
So people have to finish education, like they have to go to the college. So how
Right.
it will affect the
So-
majority of us from force perspective?
So I'll just tell you basically the little I know about Tesla because my brother's got one. He's told me that most of the things that happen to the car, when it happens to the car, he presses the button, talks to Tesla, and they say, "Okay, fine, we'll figure it out." They take I guess a backup of whatever's happening with the car, and then he downloads an update and it fixes the car. He doesn't have to take it anywhere.
Yeah,
He says
amazing.
that when he bought his car, it had a certain range. And since then, it's been upgraded so many times that it's extended his range by about 60 kilometers. So that's not bad that you get all your updates over the wire, right? Over the air, really.
It's interesting what you're saying because like when you look at the jobs in Canadian Tire right now, when they're asking like if you do the search, and you will notice that majority of the people that they're asking to work in an industry like electric car industries, they require a degree. They
Yeah, of
require a
course.
college degree
Yeah,
right now.
man.
So
That's the
before it
way
was
it's
just,
going.
do you know how to fix your car?
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? It was more mechanical. It was kind of, okay, we're doing a test for you, and if you pass it, whatever. But now it's more kind of different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You need a
getting there, right?
certificate.
You definitely have to think about that when you're getting a car that it's not like going in there and playing with the carburetor or something because it doesn't have one, right? Okay, so just a couple specs on this one. You're getting 200 and change kilometers on a charge, right? So this is just for tooling around. You're definitely not driving a Calgary in this car. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind as well. We're not there yet where you're going to get 700, 800 unless you're getting a Tesla Plaid, right? The other car that I took a look at, and one thing I'll say about Hyundai is Kathryn here in the office, she's had these cars. She's been in a couple accidents where the cars were written off, but she says that the actual cabin of the vehicle, she's walked out of each one, and it protected her really, really well. So with that said, and those were smaller cars too, like I don't remember what the name of her car is, but they're tiny cars. All right. So the next one is the Kona. Okay.
What's on the front of it?
Yeah.
That's a gas tank?
It kind of looks like they're trying to imitate the Tesla front, right?
Probably the charging port.
Thank you, Teresa. I said gas tank.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the other thing that makes it go. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa.
It just reminds me of
That's kinda
that
smart
video I
to think
saw on
about it.
Facebook with the girl that pulls up her Tesla to the gas station and she's trying to figure out was that
Put gas in it, yeah.
no, it wasn't you, was it? Okay, so anyway, come on, look at this car. Is this not a beautiful looking interior for a Hyundai? Leather seats, nice looking dash. What do you think? Are you compromising on anything here?
I don't think so. I don't think we're compromising on the look much at all right now.
Yeah, they're sexy little beasts, right?
It all depends on your preference of style.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is a beautiful car.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I can see myself sitting in that thing and
Okay, it's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite? No. A little retro, I think. A little retro in here with the.
I don't know. I don't know what it is
Silver.
about the air vents. I just don't like them.
They look like jet engines, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not really big on the center console, even though I like the two coffee spots. But anyway, that's just me.
The cup holders I think are heated. So
I have a certain look.
Yeah. So my only thing about this that I don't like is I don't like knobs to go from. I like a stick shift. Is that old school? I don't like hitting a button to say go to drive, and
considering your car does that.
I like a stick shift. I don't know. Anyway,
I like the button. I definitely like the button.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I dig the button.
Wow. Wow.
Maybe I missed it, but when are they going to have the map and the actual screen on the front window? Transparent.
Yes, right.
Is there a little
I'm
display
really
above the
looking
wheel
forward to
there, Ivan?
Sorry, what's this?
Is there a display above the wheel there, Ivan?
So that is in the where the tachometer, where the speed thing is, the speedometer and stuff, that actually can change to show you different things, right? So
no, but there's a little tiny piece of glass.
Gray area.
Yeah, that's the heads-up display.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It'll project onto the windshield, and then you kind of see everything there. So that's funny that came and went. So that started out in the early mid-90s on GM cars, high-end Pontiacs, Cadillacs. They had the heads-up display, and then it vanished, and then now it's coming back again. I think it's a matter of the fact that technology wasn't there, so people thought it more of a nuisance than anything. But now it's actually technology's there.
But isn't that also like
viable.
Distracting?
Yes and no, right? Because it's at eye level, so you don't actually have to tilt your eyes down away from the windshield out of view, so you can look at your speed and everything. Everything that's in that cluster there is actually up on your windshield now. So as much as it might be a distraction, it at least keeps your eyes in the field of view, right? You're not actually leaving the field of view. That's kind of where the benefit is there. So. Okay, so you know what is distracting though is now they have the that blind spot detection thing. Now that projects there's a video that a camera that shows right on that dashboard where your speedometer is. It just shows up if you're turning, you put your signal on, it'll show you who's next to you right there in that little window. And I think that's just a little distracting to me. What do you think, Teresa? You saw that, right?
Not impressed.
Okay, sorry. That little piece.
That little, when you see it in the video, it'll show you that when they're trying to change lanes, it'll show the video, the rear view video from the driver's camera.
I think that's absolutely awesome. Yeah.
Really?
Super cool.
Super cool.
I like so you have the turn signal on, you can see the entire side, like how insane.
Without having to turn your head.
Yeah. Right? It's better than the rear view mirror thing. That one I think is ridiculous, but the side cameras, I think that's pretty cool.
Fascinating.
What's wrong with turning your head? I think it's still the best feature.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, me too.
No.
It's a lot of work, man.
What is just the I was about to turn a couple of days ago, and I see this little not even the Harley Davidson, but just a little crotch rider kind of thing, right? Bike, and it wouldn't show. Like you couldn't see it if I didn't turn my head.
Yeah, you have, and that's the thing. People think, okay, they have all these videos in their car, so they don't have to look. You still have to look.
Okay.
It doesn't take away the actual driving rules that you need to look at your surroundings.
Well, okay, so this one 0 to 100.
I was going to say, Ivan,
7.6 seconds.
The 0 to 100 in 7 seconds makes it so because my family does drag racing, that car, if you were going to punch it that fast, you have to wear a helmet.
No. 0 to 7 kilometers, not miles. Kilometers. Yeah, you're
No,
right.
I'm saying that at the drag race, if you were to drive if it's under 12 seconds and it goes from 0 to 100, you have to wear a helmet.
That's awesome.
Fast.
Okay. Cool.
Just to put it into perspective, people, because I have multiple uncles who go drag racing, and if it's under 12, they have to wear a helmet in the driver's seat.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so and this car here gets you 415 kilometers on that's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
You almost make it to Quebec. Almost. And then you got to wait, half an hour to charge it. Okay, so I think it's a really sweet looking vehicle for 43,600. What do you think? I'm not going to ask Yuri because I know what Yuri thinks about that price. And you're on mute if you talk. But yeah.
Sorry.
How about you, Therese?
Sam.
So I'm kind of with Sam and Yuri. I wouldn't pay that much.
Okay.
But I think under 20, I'm good with. I'd even go to 25 just because I'm going to save on that initial,
I agree.
gas and all the other junk that you have to pay. And yeah, I'd put that into the payments for a while.
So it sounds like what everyone's saying is that they can come up with an electric car with a decent range for about the 25,000 range. It would sell like hotcakes.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this one here is kind of interesting because this is the Volkswagen. All right. That's the ID4. This one is long anticipated. I think it's already out, but it's the Volkswagen ID4 2021. And it's a pretty looking little car.
It's actually nice.
So weird to picture a Volkswagen like that. I'm sorry. I always think of the Golf.
Right. Yeah. But look at the leather or leatherette or
That's my
whatever it is.
favorite.
It's kind of sweet looking, right? Nice,
I like the brown.
thoughtful interior,
Okay, my favorite part about this car is that there's like little to no buttons down by where the cup holders
Like there's
are.
nothing down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing.
So
Right.
I'm not overly a fan of no buttons. So they do have some there, which is nice because it's easier for me to just feel and touch than to have to go from screen to screen, which I think is a little distracting.
Now take a look at this. Take a look at this. This car is a hawk. Look at those eyes, huh? Isn't that like?
That's
you say,
creepy.
like,
Nope.
you're in the garage and all of a sudden that thing. Yeah. So I just want to plug this in here. I'm let me know if you guys can actually hear this. Okay.
Not yet.
Sitting out, hearing the sound, waiting for my time to light up.
It's kind of in and out.
Volkswagen. Okay. So what do you think of that?
Well, considering I know that my friend's hybrid car, he tells me all the time that if you accelerate, you need to.
Wait. Something's happening here. Hang on. Wait.
Stick a bigger engine in it.
Sorry. No,
What
sorry.
turns out it is almost just a
My friend's hybrid car, if you accelerate, it does take gas. And that one just said it's only electric. I know it's an all electric vehicle, but I know that that was one of the reasons why they were having a hard time getting from hybrid to electric.
Right. So I believe that one's all electric, right? I know it makes some sound, but I think that sound is I kind of like it actually. It's an automatically generated fake noise that they put out there so that people don't get surprised, but that was kind of cool, huh?
What's 400
Yeah, I like that
kilometers
one.
again?
Yeah, that's 400 kilometers in range on a single charge.
Yeah, I
Which
like
isn't
that.
bad.
Oh, sorry. Well, how far is that again? Is that
400
like beyond?
For an
Yeah,
SUV.
so sorry, Teresa.
It's nice actually for an SUV.
Yeah, it's an SUV. It's pretty amazing, right? Pretty cute. I want to show you
Is it
this one as well.
Five?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-seater SUV. I'm also going to show you the other one, which is this one here.
I feel like I just watched a commercial for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were going to the car wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who are those weird looking aliens?
Okay, so today's video is
Yeah. So yeah, those weird aliens. They were a little weird, right? But it just told me that when
I
you
thought
get
the car
that car,
wash,
you're gonna learn how to
yeah.
dance.
Oh
Car
yeah,
wash
yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
Foam-
I'm like, what are
yeah.
you talking about? The cool car washes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Sorry.
I never thought of that when I saw it. So those are kind of cool. So listen, what I wanted to do is just to do a comparison. Okay, so this is the Volkswagen ID4, right? Which we just saw the video of, and of course, and this is the 2022 Kia Sorento. Okay, both are SUVs. Okay, and so I'm just going to show. So you know what you get with the ID4, right? I mean, we remember this. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. Very, very beautiful vehicle. With the Kia Sorento, pretty close to the $45,000 range. That's the top of the line. You can buy the
bells and
Kia.
whistles.
Sorry.
All the bells and whistles.
Yeah, it's got everything, right? So at 29,000, you get the basic Sorento. And was that what you have, Sam?
Sam has a.
I thought he has a Santa Fe.
Oh, yeah, Sam. Okay.
I have a Hyundai Santa Fe.
The high end. Oh, right. Okay. So this is kind of what you get on the interior right now. With
Oh, that's nice.
it's nice.
Did they change the logo?
Yes,
they
they did. They changed the logo. Yeah.
Well, clearly, I haven't been with Kia for very long. Anyways,
Yeah, but you're still getting the the infotainment system. You're getting this thing has whatever 12 speakers. You know what I mean? Like you're getting everything you need in there. It's got nice leather. But again, and you're getting your stick shift, right?
I was going to say it's stick shift.
Right. It's even though it's an automatic transmission, this is more traditional. Do you notice how bulky and cluttered everything seems in the traditional vehicles now?
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't have to make the fans so big.
Yeah, the fans are massive.
Yeah.
They could have saved some space there.
There's also a crap ton of buttons on the driver steering wheel.
Yeah, there's a lot of things here, right? A lot of things going on in this car. And so sometimes you start looking at the older vehicles, even though they're really nice, and you start thinking, you know what, I want something a little bit more clean and pristine,
So this would be with everything, this interior?
Yeah, this is pretty much with everything, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, spanky.
I like the color of the interior, the wooden panel on the right-hand side, like the left and right-hand side.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, be upset if Teresa bought me this for Christmas.
Can you go back to Volkswagen? Yeah, no, there's no comparison.
There's no comparison. Okay, there's no comparison, meaning.
Well, it looks like this looks like Maybach. It's like all clean cut, and most likely I haven't seen the video, unfortunately, but the probably everything's voice activated, and there is, and my point of view, even with the regular vehicles, I'd like to see the bottom of the or I'd like to see asphalt when you're looking at the engine, so which means less parts, less things gonna break, right?
Right.
And same
Which is
thing
which is
here.
this car, which is the ID4 has definitely got less parts.
Right. So basically, like, well, I mean, the only part it's electronics nowadays, right? Everything's electronics, and I know one little thing can ruin your vehicle, basically.
If
Yeah,
you
so-
guys watch Grand Tour, they actually did an episode where Clarkson did drive an electric vehicle, and you have to keep in mind that if there's all these little extra features and stuff like that, he did not get the mileage he wanted on it because of all the extra little features that the electricity was sucking into. Basically, he said that he said it would go like 400 kilometers and he would make it 200, and that's because he left all the features on. What I'm trying to say here. So it's a really good episode. You guys should watch it. But Clarkson, it took him 10 times longer than anybody with a gas car to get to their destination. If you've ever watched it, you know that James and the other guy go, but took him forever.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Of the two last vehicles, the ID4 and the gas Kia Sorento, which look and feel do you like the best? Which one do you feel the most comfortable in, that you feel the most excited about driving?
The
ID4.
The ID4? Okay. Who actually likes the Sorento better?
I like the look and feel of the Sorento better. I like the kind of mechanical feel. I like all the gadgets and stuff like that. Like, I have a motorcycle and I literally like it because it's like I'm driving a machine, you know?
Okay.
But honestly, I'd probably buy the ID4 like right here and right now.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's very interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? Just because I just want you to know that this one goes from 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, just on front wheel drive, by the way. 12 speaker Bose system. It 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Those are terms that are going to go the way of the dodo bird at some point, right? We're not going to be referring to vehicles this way for very much longer. But here you have it. I'm going to play the last video, which is this one. Size matters.
I think the video is not keeping up. Not the video, but the audio is not keeping up.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's not.
Audio is not keeping up.
Well, I think what's
64
happening is the
colors.
audio is probably shooting out into yours, and then it's kind of like echoing back into the audio.
Yeah, I
if
don't think you shared it at the same time.
Oh,
Wow, that's
okay.
a lot of seats.
Okay. Well, okay, we get the general idea with this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of drums, lots of da, right? You get it, right? So basically,
Go, Evan, go.
Yeah, just narrate it for me.
I need backup, Yuri. You're gonna sing backup for me.
Amazing how they put only 2 seats in the middle.
Yeah, I know. By the way, I love that with the van that we have, that it only has 2 seats in the middle, in the center. I love that. So there is one thing that I want to show you folks that I find interesting, and this is the last thing I'll say before we kind of go, and that is, hang on, wait. Oh, let me get rid of this. So I'm going to cue it up. Okay. There's something called MaaS, shared mobility or vehicle sharing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but I have to go to 135 on this thing, which is here. Hang on, wait, 135. Wait, one. Okay, one. Okay, that's good enough, right?
So what does SAV stand for?
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to reshare and share my audio properly. So if you guys don't mind, sorry about this. Share sound. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to 135. Here we go. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes,
Okay,
your
good.
advanced driver assist.
I think we see your slideshow.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
your video.
Oh, all right. Stop share. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, that's right. You are correct. Okay, so share sound. Great. Share. Okay, so
So what does SAV stand for? It stands for Shared Autonomous Vehicle. To give you some background, Tesla's not just a car manufacturer. It's an artificial intelligence company in that it works on the software first and builds the car after. You see, every other car maker buys or builds an engine and a chassis, then they fill in the rest of the details. And only then they write software to assist in controlling the car. Tesla does the opposite. It designed its software first, then it built a car around it. The software comes first. The argument that it's more than just a car maker has even been used by some analysts to explain why its recent success in the stock market is justified. Going back to the shared autonomous vehicle phenomenon, Tesla plans to build its autonomous driving capabilities to the extent that their cars will provide transport as a service. And that's where the $30,000 comes in. Here's how it works. Now imagine this. You arrive at work in your Tesla, get out of the car, then press a button on an app on your phone that instructs your Tesla to join the fleet. While you're at work, your Tesla is out driving itself, giving rides, earning money, and returns back to your office at the end of your workday. Imagine that. Your car becomes an asset, literally generating income for you every day. That's what's called a shared autonomous vehicle. And that's exactly what Elon Musk is planning for Tesla. Once that car is part of the robo-taxi network, it could generate about $30,000 in gross profit per year. This is all part of a $30 trillion mega industry. There's a lot of...
So, yeah, so you get the general idea on that. So what are your thoughts on that?
No.
That is exactly what I was saying earlier. I think it's called, transportation as a service. Like that's exactly what I was talking about. I think that it's definitely going to happen. It makes a lot of economic sense. I'm just like, I want to buy a Tesla. Honestly, that makes me want to buy a Tesla.
That's right.
Yeah.
Make it make money for me.
Okay. Hey, listen, my car's out there earning money for me. I'd have a fleet of them. You know.
The only thing you gotta look at with that though, it's and same with any taxi, like normal taxi, you've got the wear and tear on your vehicle. So
because it's electric, it doesn't have a whole lot of wear and
justify.
tear other than the tires.
It's
and
true,
battery.
but if you looked at the financials, it's saying that you could earn $30,000 a year. That means your Tesla's paid for in a year.
What if someone froze up in the car?
You charge
Sorry,
them.
that's the
a
hard
throw-up
reality of Uber.
Charge them a throw-up fee.
Oh yes, but like you're gonna have to go out there and clean your car before it goes to its next trip or whatever. Basically, sorry, I'm all about human error, and I don't know.
For sure, you're gonna have human error, and you're gonna.
It's gonna happen,
people
right?
trashing the place for sure.
Unless
So
it builds
hopefully
itself
it's
a
less
vacuum
than-
where it
But don't
cleans the
forget,
car itself.
they're registering their credit card with you, right? So I mean, you're gonna get they can do whatever they want in my car. I'm just gonna take it out of their credit card, right?
No, but
So-
I'm saying I don't want to go out there and clean it myself. Like if it
I
recognizes
wouldn't
that
either.
somebody threw up in it and then it goes to the nearest detailing place, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Lindsay, you know, I would say to my Tesla, listen, instead of going to work today, why don't you go down to this place and Bob's going to look after you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to clean it myself for sure. But the fact that your vehicle, 6 days a week while I'm working is going to go and, earn its keep. That's pretty cool.
What if Bob gonna say, hey, Tesla, I'm gonna clean you, but I'm gonna have to pay $1,500 for it. So are you gonna say?
You know what? Let the market decide. There's always going to be somebody who's going to want to clean it for cheaper, so they get the money.
It's
Always.
you know how
There's always a 15-year-old or a 17 or an 18-year-old that'll take $200 to clean my car.
Yeah, but it's a Tesla. It's not Ford Focus, and they're gonna say, well, yeah, it takes special finishes, it takes special this. special, tools special, this special.
To clean puke. I think it just use the same stuff as you do in the Ford Focus.
Yeah, I think
No,
the
no,
kind of
no, no.
material in there too, Yuri, the kind of material they use is pretty easy to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, when you're in the luxury market, there is always a markup. Doesn't matter what you do.
Okay, so I take my car down to these guys on Barton Street. You know, those ones that you pull up and it says, which one do you want? You want the foamy cleaning on the interior, or do you want us to spit shine your tires? And I take it in there. They say, yep, okay, how much is this going to be? $60. Bang, I pay them the $60 and my car is spotless. If somebody pukes in the back seat, they would have that cleaned up in no time. So for me, I would say, hey, here's $60, clean my car. It doesn't matter whether I'm driving a Ford Focus or I'm driving a Lincoln.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sir, this is
Even
going to cost you a
even
little
if it
bit
was
more
150.
because
So what?
what's that?
You know, even if it costs you 150, so what? Like your kids end up puking
Well,
in there, like
Yeah, but it's I mean I cleaned my car was at least for just the regular cleanup $250.
right.
Awesome. Good for you.
You can
Yeah,
still
but
charge
it's
the
not-
consumer
not-
It's
money.
We're not
outrageous
talking about
to clean a
detailing.
car.
But you got a sexy car though.
Well, yeah, I mean it's regular leather. It's nothing special. I mean I'm not talking about like I asked what would be a deep clean. They said $1,500.
Yeah.
I said
That is insanity.
I know.
I agree.
How our cleaning lady.
You should bring it to
at
me,
my
Yuri.
house.
I'll do it for 50. Honestly,
I'll do it for 14.
Right now.
I'll do it for 14, Yuri.
I'll take your seats out.
That much to clean my whole damn house. I had a big house when I had
Okay,
one.
so folks, we can go deep down that rabbit hole, but I just want to talk about that's where Elon Musk is trying to come up with robots that will clean your Tesla when someone pukes in it, which I think is a really great idea, right? So it's coming. So, but the one thing I want you to look at, like, over the next couple of years, you're going to start seeing. Whoa, you're going to start seeing a lot of commercials for electric vehicles. We've already started to see commercials for the Hummer and for the upcoming F-150, et cetera. You're going to start seeing more and more. I want you to think about it because, yes, you're right. There are electric vehicles on the market right now, and you could probably find electric vehicles for resale in Auto Trader, right? Where you're starting to see those numbers come down. Do yourself a favor. Just go to a dealership. Go into a Ford dealership and see what they've got for electric vehicles and sit in one, feel it, touch the material, and then get the specs on it and see if there's a way that who knows, maybe not your next car, but definitely the next car after that, might be electric.
So is this going to kill Uber, period?
I think Uber is going to jump on it. I think they're going to be the
Uber's gonna
first
own
to jump into it. Yeah.
I think Uber's going to provide you and me the opportunity to get into their system where they're the ones that are going to offer you some sort of insurance on things going wrong with your vehicle. I think they're going to own it.
They have to.
Yeah.
There's going to be so much insurance and liability behind it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's Sunday. Sorry, Teresa.
Right. All right. If she's going to do, I'll do it for 1,100.
Hey, I did it myself, 2 years ago. So.
I'll even polish the engine.
Oh my God, Sam.
See, the market is deciding, man. I'm telling you.
Okay, maybe I'll do it again.
Yeah. Listen, I really want to thank you guys for jumping on the call today. This has been a lot of fun. I love this stuff. I love technology. So, and Kathryn will be back next week. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Take care.